Hey everyone, so on Monday I had the opportunity to have a meeting with the principal and the union rep, and that basically follows protocol. You're supposed to go up the hierarchy before, talking to someone else if it's not resolved. So I had the opportunity to have a discussion with the principal, and my union rep was present. So in that meeting, I basically told her, you have the copy of the letter, and my union rep has a copy of the letter. And I basically just described the situation that I described to you guys briefly in the previous video. I told them that they had gone to someone's house and demanded, information on if you told her something, this and that, which I told them I thought that was harassment. I don't know how a teacher is able to tell an aide to go to someone's house and demand um, information. I said that was harassment. I also said that I think that her reasoning behind wanting to get me out was discrimination. I said that the girl before me was a person of color and I am. So I said that based on that, I think that that's what it could be, discrimination. She said I wouldn't go that far. I said, well, that's the only conclusion I can draw because I don't um, display any other kind of bad tendencies in the classroom. So I don't, I do a good job in the classroom. So the only conclusion I could draw is that it's discrimination. So basically, she said, would you like to uh, be moved into another class? I said, with all due respect, I think that moving to another class would be giving them exactly what they want. They don't want me there, which is why the whole thing of non-reelect or not coming back was even being discussed. I said that would be kind of feeding into what they potentially want. And she said, well, I definitely will have a talk with her. And I said, again, with all of my respect to you, this is me talking to the principal, I don't think a talk is going to cut it. I told her there's a very clique-like scenario or situation going on in that classroom, and it's poisonous. It's not a healthy scenario for coworkers to be talking behind each other's backs and going to people's houses. I told her that's toxic. Um, so I told her, what is the talk with her gonna do? I don't see anything really coming out of it just by talking to her. So she left me with the option of moving classrooms. I told her I would sleep on it because I didn't want to make a decision right then and there, and that if I wanted to have a meeting with her there and the assistant superintendent and my union rep, I said I would also think about that. So that's what I did. I thought about it. I went home, made some calls, and I asked for an opinion. Should I do this? Should I not? I was told that I should have the meeting if the assistant superintendent would be there. So I went ahead and emailed the union rep and I said, let's go ahead and set up that meeting uh, with this assistant superintendent, the principal, and yourself and myself. And that was the end of it. So that was Monday. And I sent the email about the meeting, I think last night. Yesterday during work, mind you, it's already Wednesday. Um, they haven't really been talking to me, and I haven't really been talking to them either. I'm there to show up, do my work, and I've been documenting what I've been doing. I've taken a camera and been taking pictures of my work, the things that I've been doing, so that I can't be held accountable for something that's not occurring or whatnot. So yesterday, um, there was some downtime. We always have some downtime, and that's from 12 o'clock to 12:15. That's when students kind of come in from recess, from lunch recess, and they watch a movie, and basically they watch a movie after recess just to wind themselves down before the next transition in the class. And there's nothing usually to be done. I had done everything up until that point, and so There was a large stack of papers from the beginning of the school year. We have a bin basically that uh, we put all the extras of our worksheets into. So there was all the worksheets from the beginning of the school year, which is August. So I decided, since there was absolutely nothing to do and the kids were occupied with the movie, I would go ahead and organize that. The teacher was in a meeting at this time, so she wasn't there. Um, so I started organizing it alphabetically, according to activity, according to sight word. I paper clipped everything, and then later on, the teacher comes in and tells me, well, that doesn't need to be done. I said, okay, so would you like me to throw it away? And she said, no, it just doesn't need to be done. We just put the extras in there. Well, I was already about 96% done, so I went ahead and finished it. I left a sticky note on it, and I said, in case you want this for next year, it's organized for you. And I signed my name, and I left it for her. The next morning I come in, which is this morning, I find the papers that I had organized and clipped and alphabetized completely shuffled and mixed again. This is right when I walk in the class. And I was taken back. I really was bothered by that. I thought that was like harassing in a different way. It's all mixed, all that work that even if you didn't want it done, wouldn't you rather prefer having it organized? I don't understand why you would go through the trouble of shuffling it and making a disaster of it again to prove a point, to send a message, to harass someone through something else. I don't know. It really bothered me, but I continued with my work. Then I left the classroom, and then I came back after watching the kids at recess time, and the other teacher says, "Hey, this lady's looking for you, the special ed director. She's the one who hired me." So I go into this meeting with the special ed director, my union rep, and the principal, and basically the special ed director says that the teacher has requested that I be removed from her classroom, that there is a conflict in personality. And I said, there has never been a conflict of personality until this teacher decided to disclose my personal status of an employee to other individuals in our classroom without my consent. And that's basically it. There has never been a conflict of personality. I've never had an issue with her until then. And she said that basically she reserves that right. It's in her contract. I said, I respect that. However, I don't think it's okay to just allow someone to do this and then just move them. And again, I started giving my examples because I hadn't had this talk with the special ed director. And I gave her the example of the worksheets, how I had organized them, and the next day I come in and they're all shuffled. Like someone just tossed them and then just picked them up. I mean, they're all looking at me as if they know that this is incorrect, but they're not saying anything about it. And they're not saying that they're going to do anything about it, that they're just going to place me in another classroom. I'm not sure if that's the way to go about things, to just move the person that they think is the issue and not really solve the problem. I told them, with all due respect, I would like to take this higher. They said, well, technically, I'm the highest because I'm representing the superintendent. I said, that's fine, but this is wrong. There's no consequences for her actions. Um, at that point, I said, I don't want to go back into that classroom today. Is there something else I could do? So they gave me another assignment. But I was very upset. Um, so then they said, anything that is discussed in here does not leave this room. I said, absolutely. It's not going to be left in this. It's not going to leave this room, except for here, I guess, because I'm not really talking to any of my coworkers. I'm sharing my story and I'm documenting my story on video. It's another form of expression, I guess. So I leave the classroom and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go in that classroom and I'm going to take a picture of what this lady did, because I took pictures of all the work I had been doing, including organizing um, the work. So I went in there to get my things and I went over to the bin and I took a picture of the mess she had made of what I had organized for her. And she stops her lesson and she says, I'm going to take care of this. And she comes up behind me and she grabs me. And I said, you don't touch me. You keep your hands off of me. And then she proceeds to say, I specifically told you not to do that. I said, I had already been done with it. That's why I completed it. And so she proceeds to tell someone to go get an administrator. She has the other teacher calling to call someone in to get me. She was the one who put her hands on me. I didn't come in and make a scene. I came in to take a photo of something that she did. That's a form of harassment in my eyes. So I came in to take a photo and leave, take my things and leave. She grabbed me and she provoked that situation to occur in front of the class, in front of the students. I told her, I said, I'm not afraid of anything. I said, I'm not afraid of losing my job. I'm sorry that you cannot handle the fact that you are being called out on what you did and that you can't deal with it. I said, good luck dealing with the law. So that's what happened. And I needed to leave because I didn't feel like I was in a state to to be working around children. So I went ahead and told the secretary, I need to go. If you want to give me my B9, which is a form that you fill out to, dock your time. So I said, please, I need to go. And so I left. And that's what happened. And I just wanted to update you guys on all that. I'm on the EEOC um, website, which is Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. And there's a bunch of different things on, the laws of what can go on and what cannot, what can be filed, what can't. And right now it looks like there's some things that I can file for. She did put her hands on me, um, and I'm documenting this so that I have my story. Um, and that's basically it. I just wanted everyone to kind of see where things had gone. So that's basically it. It was really a sad situation, but it needs to be documented and something needs to happen. Thanks, guys.